say this how you man so rock. But I thank me for the run my family. No bad mind boy, they can stop play. And every show I smiling cause trust me, life is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in. See only thing I never see. They say this how I get man so rock. But I thank me for the run my family. No bad mind boy, they can stop me. And every show I smiling cause trust me, love is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished.
Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to another edition of the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew. You know we're far from finished, right? There's on the voice kicking things off tonight. A track called Far From Finished. I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio on the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Those who are locked in from across the pond. Top of the morning to you guys over there on One Harmony Radio. Big ups King Genius, Queen Genius. Much love to you. I want to say blessings to those who are locked in out of New Jersey. Those on NIE Radio. With the Motivator. Blessings, my brother. Those locked in on mix102.com. By extension, their sister station, Earth 96 FM in Jamaica. Blessings to those at home. Celebrating our heroes today. Their work is far from finished. We have some people that are walking around today that I guess you could call them heroes of today. And they're far from finished. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Blessings, Mr. Lindsay, veteran in the business. Those locked in out of New York, an island worldwide. China Nicole, Gary and the Jump Out production crew. Much love to you. Those on YouTube Live, much love to you. Those bubbling in the stew pot on Zeno FM. Those on Clubhouse, blessings to you. Of course, those right here at the home of the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, we are encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and you have my word, I wouldn't even try. Inviting you all to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Don't be stingy with information. It's good for everybody. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors, Paul C Media Group and Big in a Moment is Price. Let's go ahead and give them a call. You have an event you want to stream live on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs. They'll take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads. What kind of event you want to be talking about streaming live? Well, church service, funeral, party, graduation, seminar, you name it. Just give them a call, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. Link up with them. Let them know you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. They'll even go as far as to host your website if you need somewhere to host. They host mine. Thank you, Pulse Media Group. I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, her magical hands, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. She only asks one thing of you. She only has one request, outside of paying her, that is that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Because if you're anything like me, you're guaranteed to fall asleep. I want to say thank you to the Global Base. The Global Base navigates your journey across music, marketing, and more. A realm where social spheres awaken through their mastery. Go ahead, embrace the invitation to liberate your creativity, unbounded and free. The Global Base is your catalyst for everything related to music, marketing, event planning, and social media. Go ahead and get them a link today for a free consultation. The Global Base, daglobalbase.com.
And I'm far from finished.
I want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking. McNeil Trucking is a licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida, and they're veteran owned too. So if you want to move from the Keys up to Jacksonville, move from Naples to Palm Beach, from Pompano to Pensacola and all points in between, you want to put some things in storage, you don't have the manpower, you don't have the transportation, don't worry. You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740. Call them up today. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you. Thank you, McNeil Trucking. Just as a reminder, the 78390 challenge is still on. And it's that little challenge where we try to make it to the end of the year saving $780 or $390 by saving in increments of $10 or $5. Again, with this being the 10th month, you should have been putting away $100 this month. We're almost there. 2 more months to go. If you're saving in $5 increments, this is your $50 month, y'all. And at the end of the period, believe me, you'll have money put down and ready to either end the year, pay off some bills, or start the new year after spending a whole lot buying gifts. You're also encouraged to get your copy of Empowered, Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. Authored by Jonathan Field, narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew. It's available on Audible. And if you can't find it on Audible, a quick way is to go to kevinstew.com, click on the image. Yeah, the book cover image is right there on the website. It takes you to right where you need to be to get your copy of the audiobook, Empowered, Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. And believe me, it's good for everyone. I was well enlightened as I narrated it. You'll be well enlightened, male or female, as you listen to it. Now, Joining me tonight is a gentleman who I believe is far from finished. He's been putting in the work for a little while now, and we gotta know a little bit about the work that he's been doing. Thank you, voice. A track called Far From Finished. Joining me right now, Mr. Irwine Clare of Team Jamaica Bickle. Irwine, welcome to the broadcast, man.
Greetings and salutations to you and your listeners, my friend.
Yeah, much welcome to you. So glad you could take the time out to be here. It's truly appreciated. Yeah. So, Irwine, let's just jump right into this, because I think I'm very privileged to have this opportunity on this particular day. It's Heroes Day being celebrated in Jamaica right now. Correct. And it's not very often that people, I believe, stop and think about what our heroes have done. It doesn't matter if you're Jamaican or not. There are some people that were trailblazers and pioneers that did something amazing in history for us to be where we are today. And there are some that are doing it now, that are blazing trails for some to come. And I reached out to a mutual friend of ours for someone that could speak on such a thing. And your name was a name that popped up. Now, I knew nothing, honestly, of Team Jamaica Bickle. And it wasn't even what I really had contacted you about. But community and finance is the type of program that highlights that kind of entity. So I'm privileged and honored to get a lesson, a little bit of a history lesson too, in not only Team Jamaica Bickle, but a little bit about our heroes, because that was what I had contacted you about, and our heroes and their impact on our little island Jamaica, and how relevant their work was then to today. How relevant is it today? So, first of all, who is Irwine? Boy, it might be a difficult question. It might be a deep question. But who is Irwine Clare?
First and foremost, let me say thank you very much for the privilege to be part of this presentation. I know this platform is shared by people who I have a great deal of respect for. And the notorious one will rename the nameless. But, I have a significant amount of respect and affection for the passion that person brings to what his resolve is all about. And so it leads me now to the question at hand. And when asked that question of me, I take it back to the roots, and I say that I am a substance, direct result of a man from a place, Shelley Road, in a small town called Bamboo, in the greatest parish in the world, St. Anne. And why do I say that? I say that for two reasons. Two heroes that stands out in a global sense. In other words, their impact probably was more felt on a global scene, and to this day still has residual impact. Not only residual impact, but fortified impact. No, where it's a university that one belongs to when you speak of Marcus Garvey, when you speak Robert Nesta Marley and the impact they've had on the world. And I dare say that Jamaica had to catch up and still catching up because in certain areas of the global space, they are larger than life than in their own respective space from whence they came.
Yes.
And so me, I'm just one of the subject areas there, or the subject, and playing my bit part. And we're speaking on a day when Jamaica recognizes its heroes. I think they started back in 1969, if my memory serves me correct, having these Heroes Day celebration. And when you look at those who have set the pace, and I mentioned Marcus Garvey, and I do believe Bob Marley belongs in there. Out of all of them, I'd say Marcus Garvey is the global presence. They each had their own respective roles, and I think that's, one could say, it's almost like an amalgamation of our heroes, and heroes. What Nani did defines the role of women in our society today, where Jamaica don't take back seat to no country in the world when it comes down to the role that women play.
Yes.
And I think it is a derivative of the nanny in all of them. I remembered back in the year, I think it was 2012, when Prime Minister Portia Simpson, the first female Prime Minister of Jamaica, was recognized as one of time's most powerful persons in the world. Not even women, persons. Huh? That says a lot to us as a people, because America to this date still has not yet elected a female president, and their democracy is...
This is true. Yeah.
Far superior in age. Huh? Faltering right now, but superior in age. But they have not gotten here. We still speak about women breaking the glass ceiling, things of the sort. So to me, that is emanating from Nani, DJ Kevin. You look at the role that that Sam Sharp, the countryman, from the ground up, the ground up, when you want to effectuate change, it becomes meaningful when you approach it from the standpoint of the foundation, laying the stuff, nobody sees what the farmer does. But guess what? He enjoys fruits.
Everybody like the products, yes.
Aye. You understand me? So that's a Sam Sharp in us as a people. Any kind of serious change take place in Jamaica requires, demands that at the grassroots level, it changes effect. Coming again from a hero like a Sam Sharp. Then you look at the rebel in Paul Bogle, what he thought, what he did there. And there's rebel in all of us, huh? Isn't there?
Listen, I hang out with a guy every Saturday that goes by the moniker Rebel, who also is a mutual friend of ours. So it's 6 degrees of separation. It's a small world that we live in.
There you go.
You never know who you're gonna come across as you traverse this place called Earth. Yes.
And then now you look at we always talk about what I guess you could call them the petty bourgeois, the man with the money. There's some good ones amongst them, although we usually kind of throw darts at them. But there's some very good ones around amongst them who have used their wealth to not plunder, but to bring forth social transformation of a people. That's where the George William Garden comes in, And so you still have those amongst us today. And let's be honest and fair about that, you know. So you know, we can't just castigate all the money with the money and say, "Why them run things and we don't." There's some that have done good things,
With their
you
resources,
know.
yes, yes.
Yes, with the resources. And there's nothing wrong with making money when you do good things, right?
This is
That's
true.
what this is all
This is
about,
true. This is true.
you know. And then you come to today's situation. You look at Marcus Garvey. His manifestations are still alive and well. Jamaica, unfortunately, Jamaica, unfortunately, have not been captivated in the way, if you think about it, that the power of Marcus Garvey has done in the global space. And when
Yes.
you look at the teachings he has had, you start to say, boy, you know, if we could only, and we know we can. You
But
know, you look at modern day leaders, and I say modern day leaders, and I put these two gentlemen because they're like the father of our constitution, or setting, I should say, the country on a path to political independence, which is always critical in any people's progress. And we're talking Alexander Bustamante and Norman Washington Manley, and the foundations and stuff that they have put in place to what we have today that are still functionable and has formed the basis of some good things. Huh?
yes, yes.
But when you really look at it, you know, those are the guys who kind of put the things in motion. Our forefathers as it relates to building a nation, you know, and you juxtapose that to where we are today, where on this day, and I must say, you know, it's kind of ironic that you're talking to me on this day, because it was somewhat 10 years ago that I was bestowed with the order of distinction by the government of Jamaica 10 years
Really?
ago. And you know, it was mentioned 2012, but it was physically bestowed on me because something happened. But 10 years ago, and I'm looking back and I'm saying to myself, wow, you know, wow.
But
It's a great feeling.
but
And so
Irwin, hold on, pause a moment. I have to cut you a moment. You mean all this time I've been disrespectful and not introducing you as
and by the way,
Irwin?
I get into trouble. Yes.
Yeah, but Irwin G. Clare
Clear.
Senior, OD.
Yes. Yes, sir. And a day like this, I better use it, you know, because the
Listen,
man that we
man.
sent at this
This no,
program.
sir. In fact, I mean, add the OD to your name, but this thing.
And it's not overdone, you know.
But you see, this is one of the other things too. You know, we want to give flowers, but it's like we don't recognize who we should give them to until they're gone, and we are laying them on caskets and graves, and they don't get to appreciate of it. And here you are, and some of those who really deserve the flowers are the ones that don't talk about what they've done. As
That is true.
you
That
are
is true.
here doing the very same thing. Now, had I not pretty much put you in a position where we kind of had to drag it out of you, I probably would never have known. I wouldn't know.
But you see, Kevin, you know, when, and I can speak for myself, and I've heard people say this who I admire and look up to, when I ask them about their destiny and their origins and the genesis of what they do. And the question I always ask of them, and I try to answer for myself, is when you started this particular something, did you know that you're going to, yeah, when you left Bamboo, did you know that you're going to get to Kingston? You know, you know what I mean, the journey, you know,
Yes, yes.
and the motivation at the time, because you know, remember, you know, when you start out on situations from what I've been involved in, it's to deal with a conditionality that requires change. Change is a constant.
Yes.
It's a constant. But some of us have a hard time appreciating the change and recognizing its importance and why it must be implemented and the discipline and responsibility that goes with it. Because truth be told, sometimes you can be led on the wrong side of the track too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Kid ourselves. And I won't say a special kind of calling because I don't know how those things work. But you see, my passion is not transferable. You see, my passion and my motivation is the DNA resides here. But I approach things with a certain degree of passion. If I don't have the passion to do it, the motivation is lessened. And that's how I approach the conditionalities and the causes that I participate in or I've been privileged to participate.
Well, I'll say this, as it relates to change, one thing I've always said, and I've been doing this broadcast now since 2010, change, like you said, is a constant. You know, if we're not experiencing change, anything that is not changing is stagnant, and anything that is stagnant is dead. And we're not encouraging that. We're not endorsing death. We're endorsing life. And as a result, we need to be growing, we need to be changing. When and I talk about this in Real Talk on a Wednesday from time to time with relationships and people saying, boy, you're not the same person that I married. You're not the same person that I started this relationship with. And really and truly, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yes.
Yeah, they should not be. And if they are, then that's a problem. That's a serious problem. And so you mentioned being privileged to be a part of things that you are involved with. Things like Team Jamaica Bickle?
Yeah. Actually, you know, and I'll pause there before I even was a Team Jamaica Bickle. If one were to ask me, Team Jamaica Bickle is special, right?
Yes.
But there's something else though that defines me and led me to be involved and do a Team Jamaica Bickle. And that's where I think I give homage and praise to my mother. You see, my mother was one of those early childhood educator. They never called her like that them times, you know. That is special, that pretty kind of name that you make money with. You know, you see an early childhood educator, you make money, right?
Right.
And you're a basic school teacher, and you could come in, or, you know, a teacher could pick me up.
Yeah, you're nothing but early childhood educator. That puts some honor on your name, you know, some
man.
Class to it.
And even today, when I look back, I have quite a few friends older than myself, and all that can say, why? My mother's name was Esme Richards. Why, Miss Esme used to teach me and all that kind of stuff. And she never had formal education in a college sense, huh?
Yes.
But my mother started the first basic school in the community, all right? And she helped to build the structure too. My mother also built and was the first librarian. Back, you know, no formal education, no degrees bearing her name. Right? And knew of and understand the importance of the library and books to children, etc., etc. She built the first library. I remember also too when the first telephone came to the district, she was instrumental. She was involved in JAS, Jamaica Agricultural Society. I think they call something called where they used to raise money to help people who burial scheme. Yes, yeah. They had a fund to help people who died and needed help to be buried. Burial scheme.
Yeah.
She managed that. You know, she was, like I said, the JAS, and then she was big in forage clubs. I used to go to Denby every year. You know, Kev, and boy, my biggest thing at Denby, you know, was in the train and around the place. You know, I don't know if you have been to Denby. But, you know, I know all about...
I had never been, but yeah, that little wagon train that they do, yeah.
Yes, man, that was something I look forward to every year. And so I know about Blue Ribbon and all them kind of things, you know?
Yes.
and she was active too in a political sense. I remember she worked on campaigns like, my memory serves me right now, Elon Wilson, Wilzo Isaacs, Dr. Lloyd, whatever. I remember those because I used to go meetings with her and always on her. They used to call me. I was always on her upper torso, you know, and so I got my early beginnings there. She did leave when I was about 9 years old to migrate, but the foundation was set. And I went to Newcastle. I wasn't an A student. Them times they used to have something called half scholarship. But I get a half scholarship, and you don't have to go do grade 9 achievement test, and you get in,
Okay.
You have to go grade 9, now you have to go comprehensive or technical school because then I've got to teach you a trade or something. And those were the stigmas at the time.
Yes.
Those are the stigmas. So I got into Newcastle, and I remembered, and this gentleman was to become, and is, God bless his soul, he's still with us. He was the one who allowed me in, the Honorable Ambassador Burchell Whiteman. He became a Minister of Education and an ambassador to the UK.
Yes.
And he let me into Newcastle. I did not do what I should do academically in Newcastle until I entered fourth form. Something happened. That something was, there was this, what do you call it now, leader who became the leader of the non-alignment movement. African nations took his cue. The man was vociferous about apartheid having no place in our society. And so Jamaica became that first country to say no to apartheid. And that's why in the flag of South Africa, the colors of Jamaica is so prominently placed. The man is called Michael Manley. I became enthralled. I was going through my radical phase in life, And truth be told, I understand then, to some extent now, a lot about Marx and Engels. All right? Radical. All right. I was to become the first elected student council president at Newcastle, because at that time, Michael Manley was democratizing schools and democratizing school boards, and in leadership, you must be elected. So president of student council must be elected, not selected, because you must remember back then, if you're not the teacher's favorite or have a certain hue, certain things couldn't go on for you,
Right.
To a certain economic block or part or club, certain things couldn't go on for you.
Yes.
So my teachings of the subject I just mentioned earlier, which is a defunct situation now, disciplined me into the whole process as to how you go about winning elections, strategizing. And I became president. And in fact, it's a back-to-back situation too. So with that now, I was thrown into this whole student council activism. I was also to co-chair. It was ironic because I was not a disciplined person, but I found myself now as the co-chair of the National Discipline Committee. Right? And then the hallmark of my existence in the National Secondary Student Council, DJ Kev, was that we attended the 11th World Festival of Youth and Students in Havana, Cuba. In Cuba. I think that was in 77, 78, somewhere there. All right.
Wow.
And it was because I then transitioned now into the Brownstown Community College, where once again, Burchell Whiteman was the principal at Brownstown Community College, and not being the A student, I needed someone to grandfather me in, and he got me into the college there, and became the guild president of Brownstown Community College, and then vice president of the Union of Jamaican Tertiary Students. I call it JUTS. That is an entity now the National Secondary Student Council has to do with schools,
Yes.
high schools. And then JUTS had to do with tertiary institutions, UA, the teachers' colleges, the community colleges, etc.
Right.
And I was a
Okay.
vice president there. And then I went to Cuba representing students. I was not ready to come to the United States. But I guess my mother realizing that the radicalism was, Irwin, I take this thing too far now. You know? So
let's reel him in. Let's reel him in.
Yeah, you understand? My papers come true. So I was one of those reluctant persons going to New York. I was not a happy camper. I was not a happy camper. And it took me about a year or so because I went through a kind of withdrawal. I was not, and I landed a job, started working, and realized, just to make a long story short, went into the corporate world. I then became a radical in Pinstripe Blue, working for the financial institutions that I once was against, the capitalists of the world.
Yes.
And I had a good stint in corporate America. And then DJ Kev, I reasserted myself back into alumni associations, and so I was part of that whole, birth of the umbrella alumni associations. I was at the time, for a moment, president of York Castle Alumni Association, then into the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations, and then my major position I became president of the Jamaica Progressive League. That's an organization that was instrumental in the independence, in the drive to Jamaica becoming an independent nation. Has political connections. I was not necessarily politically inclined at that point, partisan politically inclined, but I was part of that movement in the United States. I was the national president. And then that chapter now segued into Team Jamaica Bickle. Because what was happening now is that Philadelphia was one of the chapters in the Progressive League, and the Philadelphia chapter always hosted the athletes at the end of the Penn Relays, the big feast, food, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And at the time, my going to Jamaica to Penn Relays, I did some projects with my friends from Jamaica College who had a very strong alumni association. Of course, they were very big in Penn Relays. Worked with them. We had some things going on. So I had a fair understanding as to how the athletes were dealing with things. So one night now at the feast, Ben Francis, principal of Veer Technical, one of the names that is revered at Penn Relays, he says to me, Irwin, this is good, but this is like a feast of dead people because the athletes are tired and all this food. What if we could have this food during the Penn Relays, this kind of stuff, Right. So the idea was born, and we were to find ways to do it. One of my early and still is supporter of our cause is Caribbean Food Delights, the largest patty company in the world, Vincent Osang Family Foundation, and he still is a partner of ours. And we were to form Team Jamaica Bickle. The whole idea here was Team Jamaica Bickle, leveling the playing field, making sure our athletes have the basic stuff, food. No athlete should come and not have enough food. All right. Accommodation. They must be in a safe environment. After all, people picnic come abroad. Some of them for the first time.
Yes.
Their safety is paramount.
Yes.
And in that whole process, we engender to ensure that their experience is a worthwhile one. Because remember, most of our athletes comes from south of Crossroads. And that is not to stigmatize. I'm just trying to say now, challenged communities, challenged economic households. Right. It's many people say a poor man's sports, Yeah. Because when you think about it, look at all those who are doing great. It's not uptown.
It's true.
It's
It's
not
true.
up down. A country and them place. Yeah. And so we level the playing field, and so we ensure that food, accommodation, transportation, medical, you name it. And to go back to that whole change situation, every year we raise the bar. We do that because our athletes, when you see these young, and it's amateurs now, when you see these young people go out there, the disciplined approach to their craft,
Yes.
and compete against each other and against others, but still remains in a sociable, civil manner towards each other, respecting each other, regardless of what school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they go out there. And if there's 10 championships of America, Jamaica win 12.
It's true.
Because sometimes in the final it's all 8 schools from Jamaica. So now for disqualify 2 schools against somebody else,
Yeah.
So Penn had to change the rules at one point, because you see the winners get goal watch, right?
Right.
So them say Jamaica winning so much, them say, all right, the highest finishing American team also get a goal watch. Understand? But what I'm saying here is this: is that so we went and we did that last year. This year, the last Penn Relays, we did something that I never thought we could, and we put in a system in place that provides insurance once the kid gets off the plane in Philly. Duration of their stay in Philly to the time that they get on that plane and go home. We have an insurance to cover their medical conditionalities or accidents. No, I say this because to make this happen, I'm sure many in your listening audience who are familiar with Team Jamaica Bickle are probably contributors. It takes cash to care. You and I can sit here and talk about as much, but if you don't have the money to do it, it's not going to happen.
It's funny that you use that phrase. Just this past weekend, Will the Rebel Rattigan, who is actually listening right now, on his broadcast, Reason with Rattigan, that phrase came up because with them, they started a foundation. Will and a couple of his colleagues started a foundation called the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, and they are in the process of kind of leveling the playing field, giving the average Joe an opportunity to question those who are in leadership with their actions and hold them accountable. Basically changing the landscape of how Jamaicans do Jamaica. And it's really it took me back straight to Saturday as soon as you said that. Because these institutions that have been created to pretty much effect change, they do require funding. And the people that are often involved in them, whereas they have hearts bigger than the World Bank, they don't have pockets that come anywhere close.
And you know something here too is that we are not a nation that readily gives financial stuff in a philanthropical way.
This is true.
A hurricane come and all them situations, we give what we have, we give a jacket and we pin food and all them things. But from the standpoint of consistency in philanthropic giving for causes that don't give you ready fixes, but creates a foundation to cause fundamental fixes,
yes,
we're kind of absent there.
Yes.
And that's why I even say this, I say to folks, as in our begging money, and of course, we have limited entities within our communities to go to beg money. But here's this. The typical Jamaican and Caribbean person, I'd venture to say those in the corporate world, upwards of 70 to 80% works for companies that do match giving funding. But what do we do with it? We give to what is it called? Salvation Army, United Way, and they're good. But guess what? How much of them money they go to administrative costs before the trickle down go to people.
I know about the Salvation Army. I born and grow going to the Salvation Army Church in Jamaica. I worked for them up here in the United States for a long time. I know about the Salvation Army. Their money goes to work. I know I can't speak for anybody else.
But what I'm saying is that there are name brands, you see, that has the power and the tentacles to collect massive funds.
Yes.
But our community must also recognize that we have a plethora of 501c3 tax-exempt entities that also qualifies for the same monies.
Yes.
And these are monies that come directly into our veins, go through no filtration.
Right.
You understand me? So we have to know, look at it and say to people, hey, listen, man, the funding business here is critical for the survivability of our organization that seeks to effectuate change and helping to level the playing field. So when you match your funds, you can't give it to TJB or UJ or whatever. They're all 501c3 that are regulated. We're good like that.
Yes.
Is it? And we have to start that training and influencing of our people, because too many of our people are in positions of power, authority to distribute resources, and somehow feel that it is okay to give to yonder, and forget this whole thing that Parson Christian picked me first.
Yes.
Why do you think the Jews are so powerful in their stuff?
Yeah.
You see? So I say kudos to my friend, to my friend Ratty.
Yeah,
and I will be one of those who will support that cause, because I understand its importance.
Yes.
Because many times we are on the cult of doing some great things, but Jesus Christ, man, the car can't run without gas.
Well, nowadays, them have plugins. So
It's the same thing. You still have to pay for that plug-in there.
Yeah, you have to.
Plug-in is not free.
Yeah, there's some kind of fueling that has to happen in order for the vehicle to move, and more and more we move away from remembering that this is important. They just expect it to go. When sometimes. And I don't know what it is that causes that. Sometimes you do things like early days of Team Bickle, when there was something provided for these athletes. And it was as a result of a group of individuals coming together to make it happen. And
Indeed.
So people just expect it to happen organically.
Yes.
Without
any
input.
Oh, yes.
Them good, man. Because it go on.
I know. I want to say, to kudos to many Jamaicans in the individual sense that were catered to, at least in the past, and some still do. But we live in a world today, a very litigious society, that we have to be mindful that even when we try to be great Samaritans, it can be hazardous to your health.
Yes.
And that is why a Team Jamaica Bickle, with its governance structure and understand, or I should say, following certain rules and regulations to our mandates, gives that protection. But again, though, we are always saying to people, the more we're in a position to manage ourselves, and it comes forth when that is the case, is because we're in a position to finance our causes. If we have to expect the other guy to do it, then the other guy is coming with strings.
Yes.
You know? And that's why you see some organization do some funny things. You say to yourself, but wait, I know that's what they set up for though.
Yeah. Who are they for? I thought they were for us. This is not in alignment with us. What's going on here?
Yes. Yeah. Who pays the pipe? I'm singing tune.
Right.
Yep.
So you have so Team Bickle operates differently. You guys, Team Bickle is operating from
it's almost like a quasi ad hoc group, And I know Ratty might disagree with me here. You see this Roberts rule business here. That time Roberts rules and quorum and all them kind of stuff, They pick them want ABC. We have to go get ABC. We don't have to wait for no quorum.
Right.
We have to, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
and it's a great group of professional persons from all stratas, non-professional, whether you're a doctor, nurse, or you drive the bus or the van planning. The van planning industry, the dollar van industry in New York, they're one of the first entities to put in place the transportation system for us now. And again,
Really?
that's a yeah, man. Dollar van, Hector Ricketts and all them people, Indian and Tony and all them, man. Dollar van. They used to come Philadelphia and transport the athletes them from the airport to the hotel to the field back in the day. You understand me? We have nurses who give up their time. We have chiropractors who, non-Jamaicans come all the way from Canada every year, pay them way, come down to cater to our athletes. What is that saying about our brand?
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
You understand? And again, it's not, and I quickly want to put this in there. We are not, indirectly we are, but it's about athletes from Jamaica who chooses to come to the Penn Relays, we're helping them. And I say this, there are those who say that Penn should be doing more and all that. They're absolutely correct. But a kid who grew up and want to run and hear, but the first thing you hear about coming to America is Penn Relays, that's one of their platitudes. Because they come out and they gauge themselves against the world.
Yes.
And we have seen what has happened. Opportunities of scholarship, opportunities to go on and use track and field as part of their mandate to exist. Build their mother house.
Yeah.
You see? So yes, it is an opportunity for young people to step up to the next level. We have had several stories like that. And again, for some, it's also the first time them traveling, leaving Jamaica. Will ever even get a visa? Because nobody in them family couldn't get one.
Right.
But because them can run.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
That's reality.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we want to help them, Kev?
Indeed.
Right.
But how do you find the people of like minds to come together? Because one hand cannot clap. So you need another to help to be there with you and another and another. But how do you find people that have the good hearts? The people that are loyal like that, the people that are in it for the benefit of someone else, to come to be a part of something like this.
And that's a awesome when you say question, awesome observation. One of the things I say that good attracts good,
Typically, yes.
Yeah, some little things will come in it sometimes, but they fizz out after a while. If the good firm, even you come with your badness, it might dent with something. But you understand me?
Yes.
Because when we set up, we used to set up under a tent. Since last year we moved someplace else. We had a tent. And even when Prime Minister Andrew Holness came there in 2022, I explained to him that once you enter the tent, the most important people in the tent are our ambassadors, our student ambassadors. Them come first. Respect due. Back in the day when Mr. Vincent Osang was physically capable, you'd see Vincent Osang, who was valued a lot of money, whole heap of money, millions over. Him not have a problem and carry water upon them head or sweep the floor. You have doctors come in there and pick up garbage on the place, because as far as they are concerned, this is their contribution towards our athletes or ambassadors. Because when they go out there on the track or the field, what happens? Make you feel good.
Yeah.
Jamaica, David versus Goliath. Understand me? National pride. You see what it means for us as a community to stay on the positive and not get marred in the negatives. And here's a kid now who probably, if not given this opportunity, would have picked up another instrument causing more harm than good.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
So they see the results. When you have situation and organizational structures that deliver products and services that people sees the result, it's not one of those intangible situations where you have to explain so you're successful. No, you're success in front of you.
Yeah.
If a man comes to you and tells him success, you have to explain to you. 1 hour later, him start explaining. You have a problem. Houston, you have a problem. You understand me? Because we can say present day crop of Olympians and world champions, 80% came through Team Jamaica Bickle at one point. We were part of their progress.
Yes.
You see? And so, I give a case in Philadelphia. The churches, we reach out to the churches now because you have to become creative enough. Because when you go out there and you raise hard currency, a couple of things we try to do. When we spend it, we try as hard as possible to make the spend back into our community. You understand me? So if food have to buy, we'll go to a Jamaican Caribbean entity.
Right.
You know, etc., etc. So like the churches play a fundamental role. The churches are the richest corporate entities in our community. We have relationship with them. We use them church van. You carry souls to church on Sunday. You carry young people too. Their salvation at Penn Relays or wherever they want to go. Carry them with the blessings of the Lord. Churches work with us in Philly. The Caribbean restaurants want food. We have strategic relationships with them.
Right.
They have nurses from the area, doctors from the area who are on standby. So if one of them athletes sneeze, I pick up the phone and I call Dr. So-and-so. Things happening. You know, we draw down on the skill sets where we have our professionals are in places. The same thing with the police department. The same thing with our legal team. You know, if we need to make certain calls, we know who to make the call, and they are there. You know, people who go to the airport and walk the airport, make sure no child is left hanging around, or if them see a child on the street, them know that, boy, what's going on here? Yes.
Yeah.
And what also Team Jamaica has done, Bickle has done, it has also helped to reposition Jamaican and Caribbean organizations in Philadelphia. You see? Because of the relationship we have with City Hall and the Conventions Bureau, they recognize it as a brand. As a result of that, other Caribbean community organizations are stepping up. Because, you know, part of your success in what you do, you know, if you can't bring people along with you, you know, what's the use?
What's the purpose? Yes. Yes.
You have to uplift, to bring people. In other words, you are doing something that is making a difference. Share the experience. No need to constantly recreate the wheel. That's our problem in our community. A man will start something because I want to do this. Hey, Bridget, find out now if something is going on already, and so we can
band together.
Yeah.
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 We too many crabs in that barrel.
Ask Alice about that.
For those of you just joining in, I want to welcome you. Talking with Irwine Clare, OD. Let me not leave it off. To be
senior, my son.
Yes. Let's go ahead and I left it off. The broadcast title, but we are speaking with Irwine G. Clare, Senior, OD, and better recognize the order of distinction bestowed on him by the nation, Jamaica. We're little, but we're taller because everywhere you go, you find us, our people know us. So
yeah, man.
It's a big thing. And I wanna, those of you just joining in, welcome to the broadcast. You can chit chat with us by jumping into the stew pot on kevinstew.com. It's what others call a chat room, but because we're fancy on kevinstew.com, it's called the stew pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So let's come on in.
Vegetable stew, you know, a vegetable stew.
It's any stew that you want it to be. Because I don't discriminate.
The meat business, I leave that to Rat again.
For those of you who want to call in and give an encouraging word to Irwine, or to ask a question, because maybe there was something that he touched on that you want him to expound on a little bit more. 773-789-STEW is the number that gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. It's scrolling across the bottom of your screen, those of you who are watching right now. 773-789-7839. 39. Call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram, they all work. Anywhere in the world that you are, that you're listening to this broadcast right now, and you want to be a part of it, say something, ask a question, feel free. The lines are open. Irwine. So here it is. Team Jamaica Bickle has been doing its little bit from how long now?
1994. And my age is reversed, by the way. Okay, so don't go making no calculation. Now. I know you went to good school and you can count, right? I know you went to Sunday school, so don't go making
At
no
least
big
Sunday school I went to. At least. But I not calculating anything because you started talking about being head and president of this and that when I was 2 years old. Coming to and so I'm like, boy, this man just said 78. I was only 2.
You were the thought. You're already a thought.
Yeah. Man heading up organizations in foreign countries and at 1978. I'm 2. What do I know about this man? And so, I and people are looking at me and going, boy, Stu, say you're up there in age now, Well, I can look up at this man and say, boy, Irwine, you put on some miles,
All right. Move off of that now, no, brethren. Ciao. Yeah, go on. So.
But you see, what the funny thing is, people can't tell by looking, and nor can they tell by the work that you're doing, because you're putting in the work still, and you're putting in more work now than you were before, because the entity has grown, and there's a lot more that is being required of you, and there's a lot more that you're putting in, because, as you say, you keep raising the bar.
Yes, we have to. Let me share something with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back to this again. I have seen the transformation, and the improvement in attitudes, the way they professionally, in their own way, carry themselves, these youngsters. I share with you an example. Because one of the things we do, too, is that we form strategic alliances. Sometimes some people say you form what I call unholy alliances, but then if it is to administer and make sure that what you're doing meets the objective, then that's something to consider. One significant strategic alliance we formed was with an organization called Kids Hub, KIDZ Hub. And its basic philosophy was to use young people as junior broadcasters to interview our athletes. And so they would bring kids from Jamaica, many a times from inner cities, as young as age 8 years old, 9 years old, and establish them as broadcasters. So they would come to Penn Relays, and when they're at Penn Relays, they'll be interviewed. We set up a broadcast center. They're on platforms in Jamaica and other platforms throughout the world. And I remember back in 2012, listen to this now, a couple of things that we have caused at Penn. And let me just back up a minute and I'll come to this. Jamaica's flag was the first foreign flag to be flown on the oldest stadium in America, the Franklin Field, where Penn Relays are around. And that came about in 1999. It was the leakless flag up on the pole. Significant. I remember the morning it happened, brought tears to our eyes.
That's a big deal. That is a big deal.
Yes. And then when Prime Minister Portia Simpson came to Penn, she became, at our invitation, she became the first head of state to ever come to the second longest running relays athletic event in the world. Right? The first head of state. And when she came, the flag of Jamaica was enshrined, will always be flown on Franklin Field. And since then, other Caribbean nations' flag have been flown because Team Jamaica Bickle also opens up its services to teams from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, Bahamas, Belize, Haiti. The teams that come to Penn Relays, them want some, and Guyana. Let me tell you, I remember one year, we had stew chicken for breakfast. I mean, the Guyanese come in, to, Kevin, them box off the stew chicken. And when the Jamaicans them come, on the leave. But I'm going to cook some more. But what I'm saying here is that it caused that movement. Huh?
Yes.
Strategic alliance with all these, and these countries, they fall under Brand Jamaica. Because we said Jamaica found itself at the zenith of the track and field world. We have a responsibility to those who are our neighbors. Huh? So if we are doing something for our people, bring in our Caribbean brothers and sisters, because in the United States, I am associated with the Caribbean community.
Yes.
Right? So we have a responsibility to demonstrate and show leadership.
Yes.
So Kids Hub comes in and they interview the Prime Minister, they interviewed our athletes. And over the years, because part of the missive was to use Kids Hub to help our young people to better prepare themselves. So when they reach the big media, them can handle the situation.
Yes.
Because you must remember, they are their best and worst salesperson.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
You listen, yes, you can run, but you must also be able to market yourself and make money.
Yeah.
And that's why I give props to Shakira Richardson.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have formed alliances with those. We have formed alliances with Caribbean student associations and Caribbean professional groups as part of the whole funding mechanism. We're not just forming relationship with those type of persons because we like them, but they're in a position to strategically help us one way or another. And we have a value that they too can leverage. Those are some of the things that we do as far as that is concerned.
If there's that one word in the title of the organization, Bickle, and typically we associate that with a little bit of something.
Yeah, food. A little bickle.
And mostly it is, a little food.
Yes.
To a hungry person, a little bit of food is a whole lot.
It's a lifetime.
And this is what people have been getting as Team Jamaica Bickle has stepped up year after year after year, moving into 2024, being year 30.
Yeah. Yes.
I want that to sink into people. You guys started and never looked back.
Nope. And even during the pandemic time, we were helping our athletes who are in colleges, sending care packages, providing counseling. Because it's not just about Penn Relays alone. We do other things. It's about the athletes' welfare. The athletes' welfare.
I'm glad you touched on that, because today, as we were talking, you mentioned something relating to that. Athletes' welfare. Because, the emphasis has been mainly on what has been happening around Penn Relays and at Penn Relays and leading up to that. But it goes beyond that, doesn't it?
Indeed, because we do have athletes under management in the United States. I just use one example. We had a very top athletes from Petersfield. Petersfield, we were one of the organizations that helped Petersfield High School from Westmoreland to come to the Penn Relays. And several athletes got scholarships, and that's usually a good thing. And one of their top persons had a incident in Minnesota around the same time as George Floyd, which could have gone sideways for him, and was going sideways. And we had to jump in, Kev. We had to jump in because legal expenses at the time was some serious thousands of dollars.
Right.
But then this young man who came from humble beginnings, first youngster again to go high school out of the family, first youngster to travel out of the family, doing good, find himself where he could be imprisoned and then deported. And these are sad times. And like I said, around the George Floyd time, the racism and all that was rife. And he could have been the statistic as you try to get back at, you know what I mean?
Right.
Hostile environment. And we were able to rally support of persons out there in Minnesota. Waylon Richards and his group out there forming alliances to get the proper legal support. And he was exonerated. Kid went on, get his master's now. I think he's probably working on some other degree, doing well. You see? Athletes welfare. But you also find too that our community many times are not necessarily supportive of that, because sometimes they look at the more sexier cause, and I share this with you. There were persons in position of authority who when reached out to, because a kid was accused of sexual something or something.
Assault.
And not never really goes up. Yeah. Something not never goes up. But it's a white young lady and the father is a racist. And he's Minnesota.
Right.
That's why sometimes you have to be careful where we go to schools in this nation. But
True.
the point here is that we reached out to certain persons and they're all talk. And sometimes that's the biggest stumbling blocks in what we do. The people who you expect to deliver and they don't deliver is a double whammy. Yeah? But anyway, athletes welfare. Parents were happy, mother was happy for them. But then some other situation started. Back in somewhere back in, that'll be 2014. Well, this was probably 2014. A kid from San Diego went cross country running in Tobago, collapsed and died. Kavan McKenzie from San Diego. That year, we delivered a defibrillator machine to San Diego. We were positioning ourselves, and then here came the situation from your alma mater, St. George's, the youngster who collapsed on the field.
Yeah.
And Manning.
Yeah.
Very, very high, all-American, you call him. There is a academically well-positioned kid. And so we jump-started this whole defibrillators in school project. In the United States and in the New York area, no sports program can happen if the coach don't have a defibrillator machine. It saves lives.
Yes.
You saw what happened with a young football player there in Buffalo Bills, and recently LeBron James, his son. And we also had Kemoy Campbell from Jamaica, who was running at the Armory, collapsed. It's a defibrillator who saved his life. We went on a path because the sport attracts so many young people. Jamaica have a high incidence of heart problems and all that. Our healthcare is challenged and all that. And kids are probably out there performing who probably shouldn't, or if performing, should be under medical care. And we have tested it too, because we have formed relationship with Jaja Foundation, Dr. Trevor Dixon and his group, to do some checks and when they come to Jamaica. And so we started a defibrillator program. We took a hiatus during the COVID time, so it kind of derailed us off track. To date, we've gone over 100 delivered and impacted over 100 defibrillator machines, where we fundraise and bring in the resources to train people. On Wednesday, we'll be delivering 35 such instruments, a financial impact of $75,000 US. And we'll be distributing 35 to schools and institutions. Jamaica Netball Association is one such, Jamaica Volleyball, along with Michael, some of the community colleges and other high schools, and trying to retrain. So it's an ongoing situation. So that again is about providing the tools to make sure athletes have the best they can and be at the best they can to go out and compete. So again, we appeal to support from people. They can always visit our website, teamjamaicabickle.org. We have a specific funding platform there, Give Lively, that you can do so. And of course, we are 501c3, so your contributions are tax deductible where applicable. So that's a program we're on now. We're also very high on the whole nutrition situation because food is important. And I've seen where, as a result of our 30 years, when teams going on Olympics and World Championship and bringing their own chef and food and all that. Because guess what? Hey, not like Jamaican food, my brethren.
That's true.
And they might eat jerk. They might eat stewed chicken for breakfast.
Yeah, I heard that earlier. And I can tell you, there's only a few times in my life, I probably can count them on one hand, that I actually had stewed chicken for breakfast. And but here it is. And this is a standard when they go to Penn Relays, courtesy of Team Jamaica Bickle.
Yeah, man. And area restaurants, yes.
My goodness. Now the things go off in my head from time to time. Down here in South Florida, I got connected with a group of chefs called Chef Culture. And Chef Culture has grown significantly now that it has actually spread across the United States. And I do believe they have a couple of chefs outside of the United States. It sounds like they could probably get with you guys, although you have people already, but that is something that I'm sure would be welcome.
We welcome that. Yeah, because you see, the whole idea here now is that you use this platform to showcase brand Jamaica.
Yes.
And that's why we also form another strategic relationship, and that is with VP Records and reggae music, because we now also have what we call an ambassador. The first ambassador was Romain Virgo, Chris Martin. We have brought these guys into Penn Relays.
Yes,
because you see, the next big move we're gonna do now is that we're gonna have reggae playing in Franklin Field one of them days. It's going to happen because the reggae music is part of our identity. You understand me? And so these are some strategic situations. And those are the kind of opportunities we look forward to. And that's why we say them. It's like those who are responsible for marketing in Jamaica. They will take a whole bunch of taxpayers' money and go in the middle of the desert and try to set up something up and ignore the low-hanging fruits. Because I tell you this right now, and I say this because we are independent of government funding. So government from whichever side can come and say, demand or whatever the case may be, because our funding come from the peoples of the diaspora. Organizations from Jamaica participate is because they have interest in the diaspora, and yes, they should be at the table.
Yes,
but those persons who have taxpayers' money to market, whether it be the Jam Pros and they still not get it, They still not get it.
Don't be afraid to call them out. Don't be afraid to call them out. Don't be afraid to call them out either.
Yeah, man, no problem. The tourist boards and all that, they still don't get it yet. They still feel like they have to have some relationship with our cousins to make things happen. Or we'll even circumvent us and go to the big guy himself. They said to yourself, I remember, and I had this conversation with the Prime Minister. I said, Prime Minister, just as though we have a 110 situation down there at Penn, where we bring everybody on a 110. Those entities who market and promote Jamaica must be under the tent as well. That's how you maximize on our resources, and you use it as your platform to showcase brand Jamaica. But it's a work in progress. Not giving up on them. But at the same token, we're not going to subject ourselves either, because it is contributions primarily from the diaspora through our labor of love fundraising apparatus that makes this happen. Labor is a labor of love.
there must be quite a bit of love coming out from you, because you've been the head of this the whole time. All 29 going on 30 years now.
You know, but I really want it, you know, so them say, give it to Irwine. You know, give it to Mikey. It's a tremendous sacrifice. It's a big sacrifice. It's not something that you take lightly. Because you have people's picnic.
Yes.
Have an expectation.
Yeah. And it's, I commend you for sticking to it, sticking with it, pushing through it. Because I'm pretty sure there are times when you look back and you said, boy, you know, why? Should I?
Yeah. Why am I even bother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but yet still here you are. And I tip my hat to you, like you said, not overdone, but well deserved.
It's a team effort, you see. And I have an awesome group of people who allow me to be their class master.
Call some name.
Yeah, man. People like Blaine Stoddard, one of our early supporters out of Philadelphia. Karen Wilson Robinson. People like Andrea Daly is one of our superb marketing person. Persons like Vincent Heath. You know, people like Michelle Neal Tuller, she's now the advisory board member out of the Northeast. Lance Clark, our CFO from day one. You know, give up their time. We rope in recently some man from KC. You know, Dwayne and George Bell and all them folks. And we have persons who are on the periphery who come in at that time of year, people flying from Fort Lauderdale, from South Florida, you know, and Jackie Robotham. We have our nurses who are coming down with us now, who are availing themselves, giving up their time. These are nurses, high-skilled nurses, you know, Dolores McGregor, Sharon Thompson, Winsome Lawrence. You know, we have Oswald, Arnold, Richards. You know, it's a collective. We have the van planning industry. And our radio personalities, our media has been very supportive of us. Media has been very supportive, because we will never pay for advertising. You know, this is a product that sells itself.
Yes.
So in academia, whether it be UA, whether it be GC Foster, we have invested heavily in GC Foster. Because GC Foster is one of the best things that Jamaica have in its tertiary apparatus right now, producing master coaches for the world. You understand me? We partner with ISA, Inter-Secondary Schools Association. Same thing with J3As and Olympic Association. The Bobsleigh Federation, Chris Stokes. You know, these are people, and I'm missing out names, but these are people, our Consul General of New York, very, very supportive of what we do. And Mr. Mayor down there in Florida, I need to get him to Penn Relays next year. And our mutual friend of ours, Eddie Edwards. In fact, Eddie and I partnered a couple of years on that's how that whole 5K business started down there. Eddie will tell you.
The high five?
Yeah, the high five. It is coming from something else that used to be down there. Eddie will tell you the story. All right. So you know, and we have people coming out of Canada and elsewhere, you know, who comes in to make it happen. And so, you know, we have been privileged. Like I said, I go back and I say I've been privileged. Next year is our 30th anniversary, and you know, we may come with one additional program, but we're gonna look at what we have and upscale it. You know, something different, and you know, so we want you to stay tuned to spread the word for us. You know, to get more people on board, because the more we can attract resources, is the more we can avail to our athletes. And trust me, airfare expensive, hotel expensive. And these are some of the things that prohibit some schools from coming that have great talent, but they don't have the support mechanisms like the KCs and the JCs and the Calabars of the world. That have strong booster organizations. And that's why I spoke of of Petersfield. There's also Grange Hill. There's also Green Island. There's also these schools. Great athletes. We need to give them a chance, though.
The schools that you don't really hear about putting out and with athletes.
Yes.
In fact, you don't even know that these schools exist.
Exactly.
You mentioned Petersfield, and I'm here thinking, wait, is that in Jamaica?
Yeah, that's Antonia Watson School. He win the 400 meters the first in 40 years.
Yeah.
Antonia Watson. Petersfield.
Yeah.
Somebody joke and say, boy, Casey and JC can't teach him again because he's a world champion. Our judges.
Hey, I can tell you this. Judges has never been one of the names to be called up in track and field. Talk about football, but not track and field.
It's just like, people say, so what about your school, Irwine? Someone say, let me tell you something. If your castle come third in a heat, we're excited.
Right?
It's almost like a national holiday at school. No, we can have some good kids, though.
Right.
I'm just saying, again, I don't do this just because of my school. I do this because of our student athletes.
Yes. And it has been growing amazingly. And I don't know, there might be some people out there that are like me that has never, and I told you, I had never, Team Bickle Jamaica, what is Team Jamaica Bickle? Never heard of it.
Yep.
Don't know what it is all about. And what Eddie, when I asked Eddie for, give me a name, and he said, Irwine. And he jumped on his phone and said, boy, I'm not sure this is the number that Irwine used right now. So let me call somebody else. And he confirmed the number and then gave you a call. I was standing right there when he called you. Had just finished producing our broadcast and I was standing right there.
Yeah, man, when people like Eddie call the same thing, I don't say no, I'm like, and sometimes I say yes, I don't realize if I have a conflict or not, but that's the kind of relationship. And it's not just yesterday, we've been at things working from different angles for years, and that's the kind of respect that I've had. I've been, again, privileged to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a debt of gratitude,
But like you say, good attract good. Clearly.
Yes.
There's some good in you somewhere.
Somewhere, man, because,
radical.
All the sins will commit, so we have good.
and to know that you associate with the likes of Will Rattigan.
Yes, man.
There has to be some good in there.
Man. We go way back, man.
Yeah.
Go way back. In fact, when Will and we are, there are there's another person.
Mm-hmm.
And this person who were in the community and Will come in. And his name is Ambassador Curtis Ward. A very good gentleman. And when I did my due diligence and we said about him, he said, yeah, man, we're good. And I, at the time, I was advisory board member. And I remember, because when it comes down to the diaspora involvement in Jamaica, I'm one of those who believes that we are more than an ATM.
Right. Yes.
Yeah? And demand that if you as leaders in Jamaica are going to say Jamaica is borderless, then we are part of the mix too, eh?
Right.
And I thought that Wilfred Rattigan would have made a good commissioner of police. That was my opinion.
Yes.
And we went to bat for that. No, me get over licks over my head, right? But the record will state that he was not given a fair deal. And we call it out.
Yeah.
I stand by that. And I stand by the fact that we do have significant skill sets in the diaspora of Jamaicans coming from humble beginnings at the pinnacle of their careers in the States and now in a position to give forward with lesser of the strings that they will attract the consultant who we love to pay. Yeah, one thing in Jamaica, we love pay. Why?
Hey.
Consultant who are our cousins.
Man.
Hey, so one time we even have Julian as a consultant. I wonder if I can find those pictures.
What?
Huh? Yes. Will tell you that. And then get paid too. Meanwhile, our professionals, I
Yeah.
remember one minister come on one time and said, "Why we can stay there and just send the money?" But no,
Yes.
just stay there,
Yes.
man, send the money.
Yeah.
Nobody come. But the point is this is that we're not looking for no token, we're not looking for no handout from Jamaica. We want to contribute to our nation. That's all it is. Yeah, man. And that's why our way here is our contribution. And 30 years next year, yes, there are people who are being groomed for leadership, and they'll be ready come next year. And somebody can go sit in the stands and watch the game.
Can you actually sit down and enjoy the things though without getting
No, sir,
involved?
you're crazy. Sit down and enjoy. I'm a nervous wreck. You probably had an LB and all them kind of things. No, man. Sit down and enjoy.
What's on the table? What's on the table for the celebrations for 30 years of Team Jamaica Bickle?
One of our penultimate fundraiser is called. We formed another strategic alliance recently, where we had something called Lawyers and Friends of Team Jamaica Bickle. And we had to lawyer up for many purposes.
Yeah.
And it has now morphed itself into Labor of Love. And that is the umbrella of our fundraising apparatus. The signature event takes place next year, April 14th. It's a luncheon. And we every year at our events, we look at honoring Olympians who are no longer participating. This year we did Aileen Bailey, fireman sister, and next year, we have another significant person, and we try to maximize on that, because that's where probably 50-60% of our funding comes from. It gives us the opportunity to do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
With these defibrillator machines. And I want to say kudos to Second Round Foundation. Second Round Foundation is Jalen Brunson's Knicks point guards foundation. His grandparents are Jamaicans,
Okay.
And we formed a good working relationship with Jalen Brunson. And,
Nice.
we'll be building on that as time goes by. And also Adelina Bernard, Pastor Bernard, who heads up one of the largest black churches in New York. He's Panamanian. Adelina ran for Panama at a brief time for Jamaica and Venezuela back in the day. These are some of our contributors who are committed to the cause external to our community.
Yes.
And these are what we're building on, and we hope to attract some more. One of the things I'd love to do, Kevin, is to put in place a marketplace, a quasi conference marketplace around the whole aspect of Caribbean diaspora, Jamaican/Caribbean diaspora sports marketplace, to look at the impact of the diaspora on sports back into Jamaica and the Caribbean, with our professionals in the diaspora, whether they be managers, whether they be attorneys, that kind of situation there, to see where the gaps are and the opportunities.
Yeah.
So it's because it's about the business of sports, and I have to say kudos to Carl Beckford on that one. It's about the business of sports. So that's where we're looking at. We will be having a strong presence at Penn, at Champs. We hope to take some folks down, do some things here in Jamaica, and again continue on the whole athletes' welfare as we seek to partner and do things in the interest of our athletes.
Well, listen, I am looking forward.
By the way, but I must hurriedly say this too, and we do work with other groups, whether it be Jamaica basketball, Jamaica football, men and women, Netball Association, bobsleigh team. So we have, because once a team comes into the New York area,
yeah,
they're always hungry. Reach out to teach, and so kudos to our area restaurants and partners there too that make it happen.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I guess you guys. Let me see. Antonio is with J3As now, I think. Antonio Bell.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure you are in contact, and you guys talk.
Yeah, man, them know about we, and we need to work closer, but and there are too many low hanging fruits on the tree, and I hate when mango drop on the ground and we are talking about use mango for stone dog.
Stone dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
I hope our people that eat a mango right now come talk about stone dog with mango.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to what Team Jamaica Bickle will be doing leading up to the 30th celebrations and moving through for another 30 years. I'm looking forward to hearing bigger and better things. I'm looking forward to even having that talked about right here, because once again, it's the relationships that are formed that helps to spread the word, and the athletes of Jamaica. Jamaica has been producing top athletes forever, and the various sports that are now being represented. It's not just track and field and football anymore.
That's right. Yeah, man. And for example, look at even what do you call it now? Just recently they were in a tournament out in San Diego. The name just eludes me right now. But we're in all ice hockey. Ice hockey team was in New York recently.
Yes.
Is it? We worked with them.
That was a big thing when they came down here to South Florida.
Yeah, man. And that is great for the sports, great for opportunities for our youngsters.
Yes.
And so, it is important that we recognize that when you look at other aspects of sports, we are there and we're making waves, and so it's amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing.
And I say kudos to you. Kudos to Team Jamaica Bickle. Any which way that my platform can be of contribution, can be of help, drop me a line. Just say the word. Let's make it happen. Because
definitely.
These are the kind of things that let me say, boy, yo, this is the platform. This is why KevinStew.com exists. This is the kind of thing that makes me say, yes, I want to broadcast again tonight. Because I get to share something like this with the world. And I thank you for the opportunity. Of
I thank you, because again, this is another new relationship here formed. Yes. And we're looking forward to doing bigger and better things. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity. And now I know why why Will and all them folks did out in your environment, because the opportunity has been a significant one. And thank you very much. Greatly appreciative.
Much respect. Once again, tell people how to get in touch with you and Team Jamaica Bickle.
TeamJamaicaBickle.org. And we have a Facebook presence, a multifaceted media presence under Team Jamaica Bickle. You'll see us out there. We do lacking in some skill sets right now, which we are trying to plug. But we'll get it going soon. But visit our, go to our website. You'll see our donate area. Don't worry about the news on there right now. It needs upgrading and all that. But if you Google us, you'll see the other things that we're doing throughout the landscape. So TeamJamaicaBickle.org, we have a very active, lively fundraising platform, Give Lively, and we ask you to make your contribution, and your contribution goes a far way in ensuring that the cash that you give makes a difference in the lives of young people as they seek to empower themselves and their families.
Well, there you have it, folks. Team Jamaica Bickle. And the man who started it all, put it all together, has been pulling all kind of strings to make it work, all kind of connections. Mr. Irwine G. Clare Sr. OD. We're not leaving it off.
And it's not overdone either.
That's right.
All right. Kevin, thank you very much. All the best to you.
Blessings, man. Take care.
I did enjoy the stew.
That's the intent. That's the intent.
All right.
It's supposed to
One
be
love.
enjoyable.
One love.
All right,
One
take
love.
care, man.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? It has been quite the experience, and thank you all for being a part of it as we are here in Community and Finance on the night shift of DJ Kevin Stew. This will be available for those who missed out on it. You could share. I missed a comment on one of the platforms. Ebony, not too much in America, no. Okay. All right. So that was from earlier out. So I do apologize for missing out. And those of you who are listening on Clubhouse, much love to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for being the best part of this broadcast. All I was doing was facilitating it. Thanks again to Irwin for passing through. Thanks, Eddie, for making the connection. And Ratigan, I know you're listening. Big ups to you. Big ups to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. Listen, people, you heard Irwin talking about organizations and how Team Bickle has stepped up and helped athletes to as they represent Jamaica at the Penn Relays. There are other organizations, like Irwin mentioned, that are doing things. Get involved. One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation is one such organization. And I'll just piggyback on Irwin's night, on Team Jamaica Bickle's night, and share this little bit of information with you from One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. Visit the website, ojldf.org, and this is how you can contribute. Their account number, 911-399-836. Again, it's a Citibank account, 911-399-836. The routing number for this Citibank account is 254070116. You can email them onejamlegdef, ONEJAMLEGDEF, short for One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, at proton.me. So there's a connection, the information to link up with One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. Go to the website. You can get a whole lot more information there. Will Rattigan and colleagues have been doing some work already with this, and I spoke with Will recently. You can check my archives and learn more about the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. But the work continues, and whatever little bit that you are doing in your neck of the woods, if you can get involved, you may not have $500 to donate each month, but you have 5. Your 5 and my 5 and another person's 5 and a couple of other people's 5s, and all these 5s come together. And so we end up with 5,000, 500,000, 5 million even, with all these 5s coming together. And they make a difference, because these organizations, they are putting in the work. They have people that are selfless as they offer their services. But there are some things that need to be done and can't be done on just good faith. That exchange of currency has to take place. And in order to make things work, you have to pass the buck. And I'm not talking about passing on the responsibilities. I'm talking about passing on the dollar to put it to work. to get formal things done, to buy the produce and the meat that is going to be making these meals for the athletes when they go to Penn Relays, to make sure that the doctors and the nurses that are offering their services, the chiropractors, everybody that are there, the people that are providing the transport, the accommodations, all of this, there's some funding that needs to take place. And so you're encouraged to visit the Team Jamaica Bickle Foundation, teamjamaicabickle.org. Visit their website, contribute, be a part of what it is that is making a difference. Because with their involvement in the Penn Relays, you heard it yourself. Jamaica's flag was the first flag of a foreign nation to be flown at the stadium for the Penn Relays and became a staple. And by extension, the Caribbean is now being included. And so Team Jamaica Bickle extends to the Caribbean as brothers and sisters in sports. Let's lift each other up. We don't have to tear each other down. Yes, we're competing against each other, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean that we can't lift each other up in competition. And so here's an opportunity, another opportunity to get involved in something bigger than us, to give our little bit to make a big difference. Every mickle make a muckle, every little bickle full of belly. This is what we're all about when we're talking about building communities. As we do a little bit of musical therapy, this is music from Cesar. We're talking about ruling destinies, changing destinies. We're putting in the work around here, right?
So now you got to get up and get what you want. In order to achieve, you got to take the chance. Believe in you and not the ones who say you can't. You can because you grow your dreams as if life is a feeling which you plant the seed. You cultivate it into your reality tree, then reap the fruits of being who you want to be. Work hard, dig deep, and soon you'll reach and rule your destiny. Work hard, dig deep, and soon you'll reach and rule your destiny. In all you do, just know that Jah is there and He will help you through. He called you by your name when you was in the womb, so call Him just the same before you reach the tomb because the world is ours. Don't let there be a thing you grudge nobody for. Don't even grudge the rich because you feel you're poor. Cause riches from within will bring you even more. Work hard, dig deep, and soon you'll reach and rule your destiny. Work hard, dig deep, and soon you'll reach and rule your destiny. Put hard every day so till you want run away. You want find a way to get out of the rain. But we say go on all the faith till sun come again. Be strong as a free
talk about ruling your destiny. This is Pete Star.
Not thinking you're man enough.
Track called Daddy.
Then you have to raise a baby boy to be strong enough.
You heard the story he started with?
In
His intro.
of obstacles, doing
True story.
time for tomorrow. Gave me all the tools I need not to borrow. That's why
Yeah. One day I told my father I wanted to be a pilot. And he said, son, with grades like that, the only thing you're gonna fly is a kite. And that talk still drives me today.
imagine not thinking you're man enough. Then you have to raise a baby boy to be strong enough. In a world full of obstacles, doing his best, no time for tomorrow. Gave me all the tools I need not to borrow. That's why I love my father. I'm not afraid to make you hear it loud. Love my father. You're a true example of a king, no doubt. Love my father. Although you're gone, you'll always be around. That's why I love you, Papa. My journey wasn't easy, no, but your lesson saved me. And when the dirty got tough, you never leave me. That's why I rate you sincerely. You taught me daily to be bold and strong and take care of my love, my father. I'm not afraid to make you hear it loud. Love my father. You're a true example of a king, no doubt. Love my father. Although you're gone, you'll always be around. That's why I love you, Papa.
Yeah, the fathers are important. So we have to do that one for all the fathers.
Daddy, you man, daddy, you man, daddy, you man. Roll more. Daddy, you man, daddy, you man, daddy, you man. That's why I love my father. I'm not afraid to make you hear it loud. Love my father. You're a true example of a king, no doubt. Love my father. Although you're gone, you'll always be around. That's why I love you, Papa.
And everything I do for you, I do it from my heart. Because you had a love before my
This is music from China Nicole.
heart. You lift me up, keep me up.
It's called Gratitude for Mama.
When I just had enough of you. You give me everything. What a lucky girl like me. So I shower you with gratitude. Yes, I'll do anything to keep you smiling. So I shower you with gratitude. Yes, I shower you with gratitude. Don't you know you are so special to me. You bring joy, you bring happiness to me and so many. Your festive spirit is welcoming, yeah. And all you want is unity. You give me everything.
And I am grateful for you all too, as I am grateful for my mother,
With gratitude.
watching over me every step of the way.
Yes, I'll do anything.
Thank you all once again for tuning in as we part company.
Shower you with gratitude.
Do remember to look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just a development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. Thank you to my affiliates. Thank you to my sponsors.
So I'll shower you with
Truly appreciate love you.
gratitude.
Truly grateful.
I'll shower you with gratitude.
Thank you for the kind words of encouragement. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Yeah, take care of yourselves, be good. And if you can't be good at it. My name is Kevin Stewart, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, kevinstew.com. Take care until the next time we get to do it again. Much blessings. Remember, contribute to those that are making a difference, yeah? Like Team Jamaica Bickle.
Yes, I'll do anything to keep you.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.